Good afternoon. I'm Daniel Guest, and welcome to the Imagine Golf Podcast brought to you by Imagine Golf and PXG. You can go to our site, imaginegolf.com, to see all of our offerings, including our free practice plans, our free drills, our golf ebooks and videos, or to book a lesson with me in our state-of-the-art studio right outside of Philadelphia, or virtually from anywhere in the world through our partner, golfliveapp.com. And you can sign up for our free tips and videos that go out every week, once a week, by simply dropping us your email. Well, here it is, man. It's Friday. And you know what that means? Friday, four left. All we're trying to do here is give you some tips, some strategies, some way that you can play better today in 4 minutes or less, starting now. And today's lesson is real simple, man. Choke down on those clubs. Choke down on those clubs. I'm always amazed, right, when I'm working with players, especially players that I'm starting to get to know pretty good, get to know their handicaps, get to know their style, not just, one or two or 5 or 4 lessons or whatever, but the people that I really start to get to know, and we start talking to them about, hey, what do you do when you're in between clubs? And the proverbial answer, the standard answer I get all the time is, well, I take a little bit off, right? All right, I swing a little less. I use the bigger club, and actually that's not, a bad strategy, but it's not the best strategy. It's probably the better strategy than use the other club. Always better to be long than short. But here's a better idea, right? How about, can you imagine if you were never in between clubs, right? Think about that. You're never again going to be in between clubs. You're like, well, Daniel, how is that even possible? Well, look, if your clubs are proper for you, right? They're properly fitted and they're the right clubs for you, right? And you're the average male golfer. You have about 10 yards in between each club then. If you're average female golfer, you have about 7 yards in between each club. So let's say your pitching wedge goes 100 yards, right? And now, so by definition, if you had an attack wedge or sand wedge, your next club down, it would be 10 yards less, right? So you got a 100-yard club and a 90-yard club, but you got a 95-yard shot. So you can take the smaller club and swing harder. And just when you say that out loud, right, the less of the club, you could take your attack wedge and swing harder. And just when you say that out loud, that's not going to work out right? Or well, I should say. What if you took that same pitching wedge that you normally hit 100 yards and you choked down 1 inch on that club and you did everything that you normally do? What do you think the result would be? Well, I know what that result would be. On average, the result would be that club would go 5 yards shorter, right? So there you go. Now you have a 95-yard shot. If you choke down 1.5 inches, guess what? It'll go about 7.5 yards shorter. You get where I'm going with this, right? If you choke down 0.5 inch, it's going to go about 2.5 yards shorter, right? So you're never going to be in a situation where you don't know what to hit, right? Never. Now you may say to yourself, well, I got to try this out, or, I never even thought of that, or I get it, right? But get to a simulator, get to the range, get on a top tracer, grab your launch monitor or whatever, and prove me wrong. I think you're going to find that we're correct, right? And here's an easy way to do it. Take some tape. I'm a big hockey fan, as most of you know, right? So I have tons of hockey tape laying around. So I take some hockey tape, take any tape for that matter, but I took some hockey tape and I keep it in my golf bag. And when people are taking a short game lesson in particular, and we're going through this exercise, I just measure straight down, right, from the grip 1 inch, and I throw some hockey tape on it, right? And then throw down another 0.5 inch, right, and then put some more tape on it. So they got 2 marks. And they start taking some shots. And the look of amazement, like I'm a genius or something, is consistent, right? And I ain't no genius, man. So look, it's that simple. All right. Try it out. Take it to the range, take it to your sim, take it to your little monitor, whatever you're going to do, try it out. Prove me right, prove me wrong. But I'm going to tell you, it'll absolutely work, right? It'll happen on all of your clubs, right? There's not a club in the bag that it won't happen to, including your driver, right? Including your driver. So if you want to play better golf, and you want to play better golf right now in 4 minutes or less, choke down on your clubs. Hey, that's all I have today. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Thanks for tuning in, for that matter. Be sure to hit the follow button on wherever you get your podcasts. We're on all the platforms, if you would. Check out imaginegolf.com, and you can follow us on all the social media platforms, including YouTube. I didn't never consider that a social media platform until recently, but we just revamped the YouTube site, and it's absolutely killing it. So a lot of great stuff on there. And look, it's 4 days before Christmas, so have a Merry Christmas if you're allowed to say that anymore. I think you are. And here's to getting you the game that you've always imagined.